An interesting shoe line just became a little bit more interesting. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on the Wade Flash 2s. Ooh. So just in case you're wondering, this is the box. It's just a basic Wade box, so nothing fancy or special there. And then we've got the shoes. These guys right here are just really interesting. The Wade Flash ones were kind of like an interesting shoe in and of itself. It kind of was like a, what would you call it? They touted it for like outdoor use, but it was very minimal in terms of tech and cushioning, which wasn't a bad thing. They actually were really comfortable, but they were also very narrow. They reminded me of the, I think they were called like the Mamba Mentalities or something like that. But whatever it was, these guys right here, they give me kind of like a GT Cut 1 vibe mixed with the Puma Clyde All Pro, which were like right here at the midsole. The midsole just reminds me of that shoe. The rest of the model reminds me a lot of the GT Cut 1s. However, if you go over to Wade's site, the product description is just really strange. It says Wade Flash 2 series is designed for all sporting enthusiasts with a focus on fashion. So it's like a lifestyle shoe, you know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. And then it says its full length boom midsole and tough rubber outsole ensures comfortable cushion and outdoor traction for most training activities such as gym, workouts, and badminton, which is also weird because the Wade brand is a basketball shoe brand, but clearly this shoe, they want it to be their version of a trainer slash casual slash lifestyle type of sneaker. So they want it to cross categories and stuff, kind of like a cross trainer, but they don't look like a cross trainer. They look like straight up basketball shoes. I will say right off the bat, they're stupid light. Like these things are mad light. It's crazy, but they don't feel like they're lacking support. Like you can't over twist the shoe or anything like that. Now, like it said on the product description, they do feature a full length tough RB or tough rubber outsole. This is actually really nice feeling. Like this feels great. It reminds me of some runners and stuff. So if you like durable outsoles, this might be the one to kind of like go after or look at. The price range is right around $120, so it's not super expensive, but it's not super inexpensive either. It's kind of at that modern day midpoint. The midsole itself is an EVA carrier. Inside of that is a full length boom kind of like footbed. So I think that they feel really nice. They've also got that runner's trick where they've just opened up the midfoot area with a little notch there. So it allows it to move a little bit and feel a little bit bouncier than it would have had they not done that. This little midfoot plate right here is where all of that support and structure comes from. So cross category, I guess you can say, with the shoe. You can wear them on court, you can wear them off court, you can wear them on multiple different style of courts, whether that be a racket court or a basketball court. So yeah, around here, pickleball is the new thing. So maybe if you play that, this will suit your pickleball needs. Now the upper on these guys is super basic, so that's where the price point kind of like comes in. They got all the nice stuff on the bottom, so they got the nice tech, they've got the nice rubber compound, and they're able to offset that in terms of manufacturing costs with basic textiles. This middle section feels really interesting. It almost feels like a very tight-knit jacquard, so just kind of like a really tight knit. And then the side panels are an open-celled mesh, so it's almost like yarn looking, you know what I mean? So like very reminiscent of the GT Cut 1s. Tons of ventilation and breathability, which is a huge plus, especially if you're wearing something like this outdoors. And the tongue even replicates that as well. So the tongue is very open and airy and it looks great. Although the tongue itself, like the top of it, is huge. Like this thing sticks out like crazy. Now the back portion does have a heel counter. It does feel a little bit weak in terms of like overall strength. That was something that I had criticized slightly with the Wade 12s, where that just could have been a little bit more beefed up as far as like sizing is concerned. This guy, same thing. It could have either been a little bit bigger or just a little bit stronger. I think that would have been a good move. However, you do sit within that midsole and the heel a little bit, so maybe that will offset things. Maybe. Now in terms of sizing, they do fit true to size, so whatever you typically wear, that is what I would recommend. They do feel a little bit snug at first, but this is all open-celled mesh right here, so this is gonna break in like crazy. So I wouldn't go up half a size unless you absolutely have to. Otherwise, you might end up with something a little bit more like wiggly, I guess, like, or you know what I mean, like loose, once they've broken it. But with all of that being said, what is today's viewer-submitted question of the day?
I'm curious what you think is something that you say probably at least once a week whenever reviewing the finished product.
What do you mean?
Like especially when you see
is
the
this
B-roll.
a viewer submitted question? This is you.
That is a. I'm
Really?
going to.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get to the question.
Oh.
What is something you say, maybe not once a week, but at least a couple times a month whenever you're reviewing the final of the video?
I say about myself?
Not about yourself, but you'll say it about the product.
That I'm reviewing?
Yeah, when you're seeing the B-roll.
That I could have done better?
No. So the question of the day is, why do the shoes always look great in your videos. And you will say,
sometimes I don't.
You will say like,
I say it that many times.
You'll say it, yes, at least about 2 to 3 shoes that we end up reviewing in a month, where all of a sudden you'll be like, oh,
they do look kind of cool. It's because what you don't see is like when we get the shoes in, I'm always like checking them out and stuff like that. I'll take them in and out of the box. I'm kind of like annoying with it, you know what I mean? Because like before we ever film anything, I'm like gathering my thoughts as I'm doing all of those things. And sometimes I'll have the shoe for a couple of weeks before we even film stuff, and I will take the shoe out of the box and with it, you know, like a dozen times or more before we film it. So like my thoughts are already really gathered, but like I'm also like will tell you like, oh, these look kind of weird or whatever. Like maybe I'm not feeling them, you know what I'm saying? Which I try not to kind of like put that in the videos, because that part of my opinion doesn't matter. Some people do want to know that stuff, and for whatever reason, that's what it is. But most of the time they're here for tech information and fit information and the visual information of like, what do they look like? And then you make your decision based off of that. But sometimes my own B-roll with the on foot, it's that aerial one. It's not the side one. The side view, I never really liked that one. Like I am always contemplating like, do I just take that out?
No, please don't.
Why?
Because I appreciate the B-roll as your editor.
I know what the B-roll's for, but like in my head though, it doesn't look as good. Like it doesn't look as clean or as like, what would I say? Like it doesn't look as authentic, I guess. Like it doesn't look like the way that it really looks.
I feel like it looks exactly like when you're at the store and you decide to just go look at your ankles in the...
I guess.
That's exactly what the shot looks like to me.
I guess, but to me it doesn't look as nice, but it's that kind of like aerial, like angled look that I do, that like that one where I'm like, ooh, those look kind of fresh. You know what I mean? It's like what I would see somebody else wearing the shoe. Like that's what that view is for. And so like when I see those, sometimes I'm like, they're pretty clean. So yeah. What was the overall question? Like how many times or?
No, that was just me when I had read their question being like, why do you always make the shoes look good? And I'm like, dude, he does this to himself.
Yeah. Why did they look good? I have no idea. I'm assuming it's from the shoes look good. It could just be that the way that I lace them up or whatever. Like some people might like that. Yeah. And I always do that purposefully. Like one I always have tied regular, like a normal person. And then the left I have tied the sneakerhead way. And I know that some people are like, we never were called sneakerheads back in the day. I understand, bro, but that's what people call us now. So like, own it. What else do you want me to call us? And so yeah, so the left side is laced loose the way that I would rock them off court or as a kid and all that stuff, trying to look fresh. And then the right side is always the one that's proper and tied up with a little bow tie and all that. I will say though, I forgot to talk about the insole. Here it is. It's a piece of shit. So if you wanted to swap it out for anything else that you'd like, go for it. Don't you love when I do that? I know that I hate it when I do that. I'm like, an idiot. But either way, they feel good, they feel solid, it feels like a good bang for your buck. I would say that like if they were priced at 100, which I know is like being really like nitpicky, but if they were priced at 100, I'd say this is awesome. And I think that's what their other version was, the Flash 1. So I understand why they were bumped up a little bit. They actually do have tech, whereas the other one didn't. So I get it. But sound off below in the comment section. Let me know what you think about these. Is it something that you're interested in trying? Is it not? Either way, I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one. So until then, you guys have a good one.